Yep. I'm Italian. We don't like any recording. No witnesses. That is really big, right? Okay. Choose video settings. Got to get better than that. HD? Nope. Original. There it is. Oh, wait. Puts a black border on the back then if I do it that way. Oh, you can touch up your appearance? Wow, look at me. Yeah, right? Guess that's what we got. I just got this little camera thing, so I think this is what we're working with now. Original ratio. Huh. Okay. There we go. We'll work with that. I guess if you stand like right here.
Or right here.
Yeah. Cool. Dark.
Rick, maybe
Testing.
stand here. Yes, I'll be here and then, or I guess how we should. Or you can come here. You can come right here.
You can both talk.
Oh, you got the back now.
Hop on Messenger. Messenger winning reality chat.
Starting with private.
Just print the page. So weird that it won't let me do at everyone from the computer, but it lets me do it from my phone. Got it. Okay, close this door.
Private money then.
Enable waiting room, get rid of that guy. Play sound when someone joins. Got Adrian in the house. Got Shani in the house. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
We got this new camera system, so I'm just kind of winging it right now. Winging it. Okay. Good.
Samantha Sterling.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Grace.
Grace Sterling. Nice to meet you.
Those are the three programs he's going to talk about today.
Okay, we have
I'm
a
a brand new agent, so yeah.
all American.
Good. You'll like these programs.
What's it called? All Western mortgage?
Yes.
I almost wrote All American. I'm watching that show All American. Have you guys seen that yet?
No.
It's so good. It's like a little football thing. It's pretty cool. So it's all Western.
Is it the one on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the first season.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Like
All
a
Western.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All Western
You go to
mortgage.
Netflix, you binge all of them, you're like.
I know
So what season
you gotta
is
watch
it?
like 8
Yeah.
seasons now. It's like terrible. You wake up in the morning. Did I sleep last night? All Western.
Spanish one was pretty good.
Flip on some cool programs they have. Then we have Clockwork Media doing a little blip on how to make money with some solar, and he may give Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
I love the clubhouse too. Beautiful. And so, and I mean, very much the price. So. Yeah, no, I always look forward to it after I play around the golf with my dad.
After you lose 6 golf balls.
Yeah. Gotta cure myself. of my
Will it
woes.
cost you more in golf balls than it costs to golf? You know you're bad, right? Yeah, there's new products. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably nobody else has 2 of them. Pretty exclusive, just all.
And Randy, just to remind you, Rashida.
Oh, referred you?
Yeah, Rashida Ferguson.
Cool.
She's great. And I'm also friendly with Lauren Montero.
Oh, Lauren?
Yeah.
We call her Lo.
Lo.
That's her nickname. We got Rashida in the house. We are a last second brokerage where everyone will just start flowing in. I know, that's how we roll.
Oh, okay.
We don't mute nothing. We're full transparency. They all know. We all show up at the last possible second. That's how we go. All right, at the light, hitting every red light. Okay, so the second guy that's presenting is a little bit late, so that's perfect. Gucci flip-flops. Let me dive into your stuff. So you need both of them then, right? Or just the one? Is this good? Both. You had 2 slideshows.
No, just one.
Okay,
I
cool.
gave you just 2 different formats.
Okay,
But
sweet.
this should work.
All right, guys, if you guys have any questions, I know people are going to start flooding in just a second. But any questions at all, just remember to pause him, stop him, and just ask. Okay?
Yeah, I have a questions at the end.
Oh, you got cards? Look at you. Fancy.
I have a question section at the end, so you can answer any questions. So I have my...
What's going on, Shaquille?
Hey, what's going on?
Awesome. Awesome. Keep him busy. Keep him busy. Also, if you guys need some snuggles, I got a really cool baby horse at the ranch. Stop on by. He gives hugs. He gives kisses. He's a total lover. So we just got him in. So if you need some horse therapy, stop on in. He's got a little 6-month-old. He's like finding himself.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's such a lover. He's like, he like hugs you and gives you kisses.
This is a horse?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the breed?
A Frisian Percheron. So he's 6 months, but he's already bigger than most of my other horses.
Really?
Yeah, but he's gonna be like a Clydesdale baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the Budweiser horse?
Yeah, he's gonna be a monster. Yeah.
Wow.
But we have 8 horses.
Now, what functionality of those type of horses? Is it like
They're really cool for photos because they glide. They literally glide. My wife's like an Instagram person. What's up? How are you? I sent Jenna a really cute glitter hoof paint. No way.
Oh,
Good, how are you?
Got the boxing realtor in the house.
watch out.
Was it the knockout realtor?
Yeah, I think I need to rebrand.
You're gonna rebrand? You're gonna retouch? Cool. What's up, Lulu? Are you having your team listen in?
And what is it?
Jessica,
Jessica Sarah.
nice to meet you, Shirley. I love that name.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, right.
Presentation here, so, too, to help people along. It's my mentor, friend, and colleague here, Rick. We'll just look forward to answering any questions. We're gonna do a little game show.
That's a mortgage people, right?
Yes.
I'll let you know about the buy down again. I haven't looked now at it, but I always forget about like how the buy down.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little about that.
Perfect.
All right, guys, those of you that are on Zoom, what you definitely want to do really quick, just so you're prepared for the Airbnb setup, is you want to get Craig to email you the slides. Okay, if you have not done that, you definitely want those slides. It's chock full of a whole bunch of crazy information, a lot of crazy rules going on, so you can be in the know to be able to educate. So to start our meeting, and we have a couple minutes, so you still got time. To start our meeting, we have a All Western Mortgage. They got some really cool stuff that they want to talk to you about. They're going to do a little blip and then give you their contact information. So if you have any information or questions, what have you, you can bombard them there. And then we have a company called Ion. You guys know him as Clockwork Media. He's one of our photographers, Aaron Clock. He partnered with a solar company that is going to give you guys a really cool referral discount, ability to refer solar easy and make some money off of it as well. So there's a really cool partnership there. And I also think he's going to do a little, in about 10 minutes tops, he's going to give you guys a little blip on your next photo job. So if you guys want a really good discount on that, bam, got you covered there. All right, so I'm going to let really quick, and after all that, you get the good stuff. You're going to dive into all of our Airbnb stuff as well. So we'll go over that. But I'm gonna introduce, his name is Sterling Snyder. Okay, All Western Mortgage. He's gonna go through and run some stuff with you. Oh, right.
You want to fix it? Yeah. It's never.
We're fixing stuff on the fly. Cool, cool, cool. What's up, dude? What's up, Mike? Cool. Thank you. All right, now how do I Vanna White this? Do I just click the next one?
Is it already live?
Or do you just hit the down?
Yeah,
Nice. Cool. So I got that.
Okay. Sounds
Is there any
good.
way to like make it maximized? I need to call tech support. Sweet. He's got. All right, let me just make sure you guys can all see this screen. Could you see this real quick? Sterling Snyder, loan manager extraordinaire. Do you guys all see that on Zoom?
Yes.
Sweet.
All right. I can.
You got it?
Look at this. Cool.
Look at this.
Awesome. Well, hello, Winning Realty. Can all of you see me as well as my little presentation here?
Yes.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm really excited to be here. It's awesome. I've gotten to meet Randy, and I also know a few of your real estate agents. Great organization, great people. So thank you for having me. My name is Sterling Snyder. As you can see, I'm the loan manager extraordinaire, and I'm going to talk with you about one of the most exciting topics you've ever heard of in your entire life, which is mortgage lending. And we got a few loan products that I'd like to run by you today that I think will be useful for you and your clients in this current climate, and as you go forward and try to win. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is my objectives. My objectives as a loan officer is to make the lives of my clients easier by delivering top-notch customer service. I like to bring my clients greater success by using well thought out financial strategies. And I like to provide my clients with peace of mind by systematically monitoring their mortgage over the entire life of the loan. My credentials: I'm a licensed mortgage loan officer at All Western Mortgage. I have a master's of business from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where I majored in finance. I also am a former manager for A-list celebrities in Hollywood, so I consider myself an expert in delivering top-notch customer service and working with a lot of different personalities and just, managing expectations and ensuring a smooth transition for high caliber, high focus clients.
So he's got an MBA, so he's really fucking smart.
Thank you.
He just got blown away too.
Nice. That's awesome. I also am a board member for multiple charity organizations around town and also a board member for the Vegas Young Professionals. We have an event tonight at the Palms. If anyone's interested, please reach out to me after. I'm happy to send you details. It's a great networking event. And then also just a little side bit, I'm available 24/7. So a little bit about All Western Mortgage. We've been around for over 30 years. We're in most states across the USA. We're very big in Nevada. We have the most diverse portfolio of loan products in Nevada. We have glowing reviews on Google. If you go online, check us out. We have a couple thousand reviews, all very high rated. So very, very proud of that. And then also we're the winner of many prestigious awards around town. So another thing to kind of toot our horn about. So in regards to what's unique about All Western Mortgage loan products, I'm just going to go over a few of the many unique loan products that we have at our organization. And I just want to emphasize that these products are really not really available to anyone outside of All Western Mortgage. It's pretty cool what we have. It's pretty nifty, and we think it can really help you all. So that's why I'm here presenting. So the first loan product I want to talk about is our cash offer loan. Basically, the buyer gets a loan from us and then is able to make a cash offer on a home. And we consider this very significant because 40% of homes are currently being accepted on a cash offer basis.
Gotcha. Good.
Thank you. Yeah, so we consider this cash offer loan very significant because homes are currently being accepted on a cash offer basis. So what this means is that with a cash offer loan, essentially, this increases the buyer's likelihood of getting an accepted offer without having to say pay for a home in order to cash offer. Yeah, so just to reiterate, I just don't know if you guys heard that, but basically we think it's significant and we know it's significant because this, by making a cash offer, increases the buyer's likelihood of getting an accepted offer without having to overpay for a home in order to beat out someone that's making traditional cash. So we really like this product. It's definitely helped, and we're one of the unique brokerages in town that is actually able to even offer this.
Question on that or question at the end?
I will add questions at the end, and I love the enthusiasm.
You're usually bombard like midway through. That's how we roll. Sorry.
I put in a little section at the end for questions.
Okay.
And we'll hear the answers. And yes, so our next loan product is our private money loan. We're one of the few brokerages in town that actually has a private lending division. That's very unique. It's awesome. Proud to have it. And basically,
We're gonna ask questions at the end, guys.
okay, I love the enthusiasm. With this private lending division, this allows us to kind of break the mold and stipulations of some of the more traditional loans, which we found to be particularly helpful for those that are, let's say, self-employed. They might have a low credit score. They might have even had a recent bankruptcy, a foreclosure, and this also works really well for short sales. So we're really happy to have this division, and we really feel it can benefit many different people out there that are looking to buy a home. So we wanted to make you all aware of that. The next loan that I wanted to make you all aware of is what's called our real estate investment loan, sometimes referred to on the street as a DSCR loan. It's a pre-investor loan program. It's only 25% down, no job, no income, no tax return, and you can still obtain this loan. And what's also great about it is it kind of diverts the catch-22 that a lot of banks and credit unions have. When a credit union,
Hey, Siri, stop.
I got it.
So quite often, a credit union or a bank, if they're looking into you as to whether or not to offer you a loan for an investment property, they usually want some sort of proof of prior success in an investment property, which is a bit of a catch-22, because how do you get into the game without maybe having a loan to buy an investment, right? So what's great about All Western Mortgage and our real estate investment loan product is it's available to first-time investors. So I'm sure, some of your clients might have a primary residence, but they might also want to get an investment property. And this makes it a lot easier for them, particularly if they're just getting into the game. So those are the 3 loan products, and I'll answer some questions at the end, but I did just want to highlight kind of the process of working with me, as well as All Western Mortgage. And basically, my goal is to make it as easy and as simple and as seamless as possible for you and your clients to get a loan. As I stated prior, I used to work in Hollywood with a lot of A-list celebrities, and you want to make it as easy and as seamless of a process for them so they can focus on some of their bigger priorities, right? So I handle the things on the back end and behind the scenes to make sure that it's a very smooth process. At the same time, I'm available 7 days a week. If you haven't noticed, I consider myself to have strong communication skills. And at the same time, I really try to avoid using jargon and acronyms when I'm speaking with your clients. I try and put things into layman's terms so that everyone can understand it and there's no blank stares, right? Also, I want to highlight that All Western Mortgage has a reputation, and you can ask around town, but we have a reputation for getting things done. We have quick turnaround times. I can update you on those weekly if you'd like. They're always very fast. And then at the same time, because we are such a large organization, because we've been in the space for so long, we are up to date with all the newest technologies. We have it all in-house. So we're really what I consider a powerhouse and happy to meet the needs of you as well as your clients. So I'll put into this slide just my contact information.
Are you gonna leave some cards here?
Yeah, I'll leave some cards here at the office. I also left a few flyers around as well that highlight some of our loan products. But this is just my general information. Feel free to reach out to me on my cell or on my email. I also have a website, and you can also find me on LinkedIn as well. So I'd like to kind of just open this up to questions. And I'd also like to bring in my mentor, my friend, and my colleague, Rick Ryan. He's been in the industry for a bit now, for too long, but he's a wealth of knowledge, and he and I are just really happy to try and answer any of your
Can I
questions.
start with Home Simple? I know what they're gonna ask.
What question do you have?
He's probably gonna answer.
Okay, so I'm gonna just step in a little bit on Home Simple. That's the cash offer program. Great loan, as you said, 40% of accepted offers are cash, right? That's what the seller wants to see.
Yeah.
So the way this works is we have Home Simple that sits here. You guys are gonna write, Home Simple is gonna write the offer. So they're the buyer. Okay, they're gonna buy it cash, close 7-10 days, just like a cash deal. We're gonna look at an appraisal, an online appraisal to get the value, make sure the value is there,
Okay.
and they'll do an inspection on the property. Those are the only 2 things. It's a cash deal. Then your buyer, after this closes, is just gonna buy it from Home Simple.
So it's not
5% down. No, it's not simultaneous, but it's all gonna close in 30 days.
Okay.
Because the cash deal is gonna close in 7 to 10 days. Your buyer's already been pre-approved. We have to have a pre-approved buyer in order to get the transaction done. So, so this buyer here has already been in process, and it's gonna close within that 20-30 day process altogether. It's only a $500 fee. Yeah.
Really quick.
Go ahead.
So let's say we represent the buyer. We're out there showing houses and stuff.
Yep.
Your buyer goes and buys this property. Okay. They buy it, and our deal is done. So we get cut out of our commission's already paid.
That's correct.
If this buyer doesn't facilitate the deal, then what?
Okay, so you are writing 2 contracts.
Okay.
You're being paid up front on the cash deal.
Yeah.
Your buyer, the only fee involved is $500.
Okay,
So that's what Home Simple is gonna make.
cool.
They're gonna get wired $500 upon an accepted deal. The only additional cost to the buyer buying it from Home Simple
Yeah.
is whatever the title escrow fees were. So say it's a $500,000 purchase, we're gonna write the contract over here at 503,
Okay.
504.
Yeah,
And if the closing costs are only $2,000, that additional 2,000 is a credit to the buyer's closing costs.
cool.
Nothing else to it. It's just a cash deal, pretty much closing simultaneously, within a normal time frame of a 30-day closing.
Neat.
We like using the same title companies because they're gonna get a discount, right?
Yeah.
On those fees.
Which title company do you prefer?
There's a few that, Home
Is Fi-
Simple.
Is Fidelity one of them?
I'm not sure. We'd have to
Okay.
go back with you on that.
Cool.
So that's pretty much the ins and outs on it. It's it's available on conventional loans, conforming conventional loans, purchase, primary residence, and on VA buyers.
So yeah, get with them guys. So basically you can go out there and draft cash offers.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and the cash offer, Home Simple would be the one. So
I like it.
it's great. And think VA buyers, a lot of people, I don't want to deal with a VA buyer because there's all these additional fees,
Yeah,
right?
you're
That
gonna
a
pay
seller
extra
has to pay
$50
and
for a
stuff.
pest
So
inspection.
you can still do a
Terrible.
$50. I mean, we're gonna do that loan for your buyer, right? And that buyer's gonna
I like
pay
it.
the fees, but it's great. Then the private investor loan, guys, nobody has this. I would say there may be one other company in town that has a cash deal. Private investor, 6 months self-employed, 500 FICO score.
Wait, 500 FICO?
Foreclosure, you name the headache,
Yeah,
as long, it's 30% down. The rates are as ugly as the buyer.
yeah,
So the uglier the buyer,
What are we talking
the
about?
uglier the rates,
like
okay?
9%, 8%, what are you looking
Uh,
at?
Starting 7.99 interest only.
It's not that bad for
But if you look at
500.
an investment loan in today's world,
Yeah,
they're in that 6+ range, right? So no prepayment penalty, they can go interest only.
cool.
So any buyer, pretty much ITIN buyers, foreign national buyers, condo tells. We don't want any condo questionnaires, so if occupancy exceeds
Yep.
the 50%, no problems. They're not even gonna look at that stuff.
Wow.
We're just closing the loan and they take about 12 days from start to finish, close funded. If
So
you have
if
a
they
deal
have
that falls out, boom, think about this loan, buyer has the money.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's not
that's
a great loan,
that's
but
funny, that's
but
my-
the guy can get a better loan later, yeah?
that's where my brain went.
Yeah.
Salvage loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what
If
it
they have
is,
30%, they're approved. Pretty much if they breathe.
pretty much,
That's pretty sick.
pretty much.
I like it. Cool.
And then did you want to talk on?
Any questions,
sale?
guys, on Zoom? You guys have any questions with that? Because that's pretty crazy. So the one was the cash, you write a cash offer, done. And the second one is if they have 30% and they breathe. So if they breathe there, they're pretty much approved. Okay. 500 FICO, that's pretty crazy. Oh, I got some chats popping up. One second. You guys can use your words. You can talk. All right, we got a lot of stuff here. One second. What documents do you need to pre-approve someone self-employed with no proof of funds at all?
Yes, okay. So,
Question.
yep. So that's on, they're talking about the DSCR loan.
Okay.
The only qualifications on a DSCR loan is the down payment, 25%. There are DSCR loans with 20% down on an investment property. All I do is as long as the rent is equal to the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, loan closes.
Wow.
Sometimes there are DSCR loans where the rent could be 400 less than PITIA, but that would affect the rate. So basically, the only qualifications are proof of funds to close. And we do this ratio based on rent versus principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and association. And that approves the loan if it closes.
Every time he says DSCR, I'm thinking like, do not resuscitate. I don't know, my brain's weird.
I got a question.
Okay, one sec. We got a question in the office.
Purchase.
What was the
What you
question?
do with it, she asked, can it be used for
Airbnb.
Airbnb,
condo.
stuff like that.
Okay.
It's an investment property.
Yep.
We're not even, the appraisal, when the appraisal's ordered, it's gonna show what the rent comparison is, what we can get for the rent. What you do with the property, you do. We don't need a lease. If they own 5 other investment properties, I don't want to see leases on those properties. I don't want to see positive cash flows. I want to see nothing.
Okay. You especially don't want to see that we're income producing through a meth lab, right?
We're not gonna ask for
Hey, how we
anything.
make our money. No, totally.
No, it's a great way for investors to get into a house without having to qualify.
I like it.
All right, Raphael, you got a question. The floor is yours, bro.
Excellent. And then, first of all, thanks for being with us, guys. Is there a purchase minimum price for that investor loan?
I believe it's $125,000.
Sick.
That's sick. Thank you, my friend.
I'm sorry, 100,000, up to
Oh.
2 million, 100,000.
Made it even better.
Okay, now we went from COVID to like age. That's double sick.
Yeah. So what's the minimum?
Loan size.
Because some places are like, we don't touch anything under 200K. A lot of lenders are now in town of that.
And when an investor owns a bunch of properties, or they're self-employed, their tax accountants are good, and they write everything off, it's an easy, fast loan to just get done and not deal with all the hassles.
First time investor product. Okay, we talked about that. Is it only available in Nevada? Lulu or Lucy, where else do you want it? What other?
The answer is no to that.
No, I think they're in a lot of different states.
The only one that is limited to Nevada is our private lending division,
Okay.
because the investors are here in town.
Can we get that in California? We just opened a branch in California.
Any of the other 2 programs, yes, the private lending division,
That's only here.
BK and stuff, just here.
Okay.
Cool. Insane. Good. What is the application process? What needs to be submitted for investor loans?
The DSCR loan is,
That do not necessitate.
yeah, the investor loan is just an online application.
Okay.
They of course pull credit. Credit always determines an interest rate in today's world. With the investor loan, it's considered a business loan also, guys. So there's a 1 to 3 year prepayment penalty on them. And the best route is interest only. So it's going to keep that payment down because it's interest only, and it makes it easier for the buyers to qualify for it. I ran numbers today on a regular investor loan, and the rates were about 6% today. Then I did a investor program with a 3 year prepay, 6% rate. This one was at 8. The payment difference was $200. But investor loans in today's world are like 2-3 points. So the guy's paying an extra $11,000 to get a normal loan versus doing this DSCR loan with no points.
Which will give them the ability to refinance.
Yeah, down the road,
years.
and use that money if they need to refi down the road when rates get better.
All righty. We're going a little bit over on time. Do you do loans, cash and investment loans in Maryland as well?
I believe we do have a license. Any states we're licensed in, we can get you the list.
Okay.
We're in like 20 states,
All right.
but if we're licensed in the states, yes, we can do it.
Sweet. Cool beans. You guys have any other questions real quick? You can be vocal. Just don't chat it out. Just yell it out. That's how we roll. Any other questions?
Thank you so much. Let's roll.
All right, let's roll. Roll to the next thing.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we have Ion Solar. They just want to talk to you really quick. And I'm gonna get this thing off. How do I close this down? Ion Solar. Cool. Ion Solar is also partnered with our Clockwork Media, who does photos. How did you get that thing to zoom in like that before?
Oh, sorry.
What do you need? Like double click it or something? Nope, that didn't do anything. I'm messing it up. Where was it so I can learn? Ah, look at this.
Is that the first?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is.
I like it.
Hey, Randy, at the end, just do 3 raffles for these.
Oh, shut up.
for whoever's here, okay?
Very cool.
They're really cool.
Little flask.
I win.
Oh, yeah, she's like all about it.
And we'll
Claim.
leave the other material
We
here.
were here
for
for
you guys.
All right, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
And then I'll let you guys have the floor.
Thank you, guys.
Make sure you guys can hear him. If you have any questions, these guys, don't save your questions for the end. Just blurt it out and we'll just be vocal.
Let's go for it. Well, just want to welcome you guys. My name is Aaron. I also do Clockwork Media, so I do photos, video, map work, drone for any listings, as well as working for Ion Solar. I met Patrick when I worked at Lifetime. Lifetime Athletic, as many of you know, he was a trainer. I did sales, so we coordinated there, and we became a team. Patrick's been doing solar for what, about a year and a half. I'm fairly new to it, so I'm learning as I go. That's why I brought Patrick. We came to you guys because, like Randy, you guys all like to win, and money talks.
We like money.
We like money. That's exactly it. So we're going to show you guys a way to make a good amount of money with solar now that the government is pushing it, and solar is more of an idea, a concept that actually makes sense. So I'm going to kind of lead in and let Patrick kind of take over from there.
Cool. So yeah, like you said, a lot of things have changed recently with solar. Back in the day, I know that hasn't been the best relationship with realtors and solar people because of loans on homes and liens and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to resell and that stuff. A lot of companies don't even do that now. Easily transferable. The lending is so much easier. The net metering is easier. The transfer of loans is easier than transferring NV Energy now. It's literally a document with new banking information and it transfers right over. So just kind of getting into it. Basically partnerships, man. I mean, that's the world we live in now. I mean, everyone, wants to help everybody in a sense when it comes to business. So essentially the benefits of the partnerships before we get into like the meat and potatoes of me like explaining solar to you guys and like force feeding you with a fire hose on solar you might not be interested in. Let's talk about the benefits first. So really, I mean, both of us are going to benefit from this. So with you guys and your team, you're going to have exclusive rates for your people, right? This is super simple because you already have all the information available to you, the name, the address, the phone number, the square footage. That's really all we need. Essentially your people are going to get an exclusive rate as well as incentives that are exclusive to those people as well. A bonus payment plan on top of what you're currently doing. I don't know if your business is doing this or it's kind of stagnant or if it's slowing down. This is a really easy way to just have, I kid you not, like a 5-minute conversation with your buyers that you could then transfer the information to us. You're hands off and we take care of the rest of it. And all of a sudden you're putting a couple stacks in your pocket as like a bonus paycheck on top of somebody you've either recently closed or somebody in your portfolio from a year ago, right? So that's that little bonus piece. Partnership with a premier solar company. We are the top 4 largest residential solar companies in the country, as well as, and the only ones that really beat us are, I don't like to talk bad about other companies, but the ones that are at Home Depot and Lowe's, I personally have one of them on my house, and it is the worst experience I've ever had with customer service. So just getting into that with us, I mean, we don't have a marketing tactic. We rely strictly on referrals. That's also why we have the highest referral rate of the solar companies that are out here. And it's basically you're helping strengthen a relationship with your clients and possible future referrals. So what I mean by that are not only people you just closed, but now you're taking your avenue of referrals right now that you go to that are hopefully like one of your people you sold a house to. Sooner or later, they might come across somebody that says, hey, I know somebody wants to buy or sell their home. Whereas now we're just widening that avenue of not only just referrals for home buyers, but for people who are, you build a good connection with somebody, you've already built that rapport with them to be able to then say, hey, real quick, we work with a solar company, a premier solar company in town. I already have all your information, and with the way the rates are going, if you're interested in just taking a look at solar because you already have that build with them, I could forward your information to my guy. Just give me a few dates that work for you and we'll set up a time. And then you're literally hands off. You shoot us a text, say, hey, Jane Doe, address, information, looking to add an EV, here's their square footage, and here's their 2 or 3 available dates and times for next week. You're literally hands off. We contact them, we set up the appointment, we go in, we show them all their savings, their exclusive rates. They know that we're partnered with you, so we're not that person knocking on their door to annoy them because it's really annoying. People get really sick of that. It's also why we are trying to branch out and do this. The same thing that Blockbuster did to Netflix, right? Instead of having to go do this stuff, we're just revolutionizing the industry so that we don't have to go knock on doors and get doors slammed in our face. We'd rather a partnership and trust. That's where it makes business successful, right? And ultimately easy money. It really truly is for both of us, right? And our benefit to this, because it's mutually beneficial, is for us to help revolutionize that. Solar is that knock on door, let's talk to you and try to convince you to listen to us. And then it's step by step of doing that. Whereas now, we're trying to just get it digitally, referral based, all that sort of stuff. For us, it's working smarter, not harder, and 110 degrees on the street. And for us, it's also a different avenue of referrals, because now our referral base is all solar based, and that business of, hey, I know somebody else that can help out and hook up. But now you guys have that mutual beneficial partnership of you're getting referrals, we're getting referrals, and that sort of stuff. Because how often do you get referrals from an ex purchase, right? You don't get like 5 deals a year from people who buy homes, right? It's, oh, I heard of somebody, and every now and then you might get one of those old buyers that refer somebody to you. Whereas if you refer solar to somebody and they see those benefits, and then all of a sudden that is an easier spider web out, because we're under government, 50% of Nevada has to be at solar in the next 8 years. So that's basically the benefits to.
Also want to touch on another note. So a lot of these new developments that are coming up are in and around Las Vegas. Those new homes that are already have solar systems already put on the roof. So it is coming, like Patrick said, there is a mandate, and that mandate is basically getting these builders to basically incorporate that. Now, there's a lot of difference, which we can discuss at a later time, between these home builders that are already putting on the systems versus the systems that come through ION. So I'll let Patrick take over from there.
Yeah, I mean, he just literally was in a community last week where every new home on there has solar. Like, you buy the home and you move into it with solar. It's like California, they're at 100% mandate. You literally cannot build a home in the state of California without solar. We're at a 50% mandate, and if you know, we kind of follow California. So yeah, in a sense. I mean, and it is too. And then now we're getting into deeper conversation of the lake levels and the hydropower and like all these other major issues that we're facing. Is going to make a real big issue for us. So yeah, this is just a little funny, get you to laugh for about 20 seconds. You guys remember this?
Show you the money. Not so you. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah. Louder. Show me the money. That's it, brother. But you got to yell that shit. Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Wait, what movie was that?
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
You gotta go watch that tonight for sure now.
Classic movie.
Let's go.
I was young when it came.
So now we kind of get your idea around solar and how it can benefit you guys, and the fact that it really, I kid you not, it is, I've worked with some realtors, it is a 3 to 5 minute conversation. You close a home, I got your information, I work with a solar guy, you probably heard about it. Let's get a partnership going. You send the information, it's done, it's easy money. Basically, these are just kind of some of the averages that we run across and how we're going to show this mutually beneficial partnership. Average system size in Nevada is about 7 kilowatts. Average lead generated pay, if somebody were going to knock a door, if Aaron went and knocked the door, I went in that house, I closed that house, I would on average make about $4.50 a kilowatt, depending on the price that we're at, right?
Just to understand that, you would take 7 kilowatts, because that's the system size of the house. Now, what he's saying is $450 per kilowatt. So you take 450, multiply that by 7, commission that he would collect as a closer. Okay.
Just as a closer. So essentially what we're doing, we're not trying to get you guys to come on board, fill out paperwork, become an ION employee, any of that, right? We're all 1099s anyways. Our average setter pay, that person that goes knocks on that door, that same deal, they make about $150 to $200 a kilowatt. So for somebody to go knock on a door, spend about 3 minutes to get someone's power bill, they walk away, they're done. We go in that house, they've just made $2,000 or $3,000. It's pretty easy money for them. Granted, you got to knock on a lot of doors to do that. So that's why we're doing this. Like, each one of you are essentially our door knockers with a positive referral base. So average cost on that for us closers is about $3,000. For the setters is somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000, just for doing that, right? We spend about 3 hours in the home sometimes, depending on how many questions. I've spent 4.5 hours at someone's home before. I've literally eaten dinner with them. Like, I kid you not. So a lot of details and work and stuff go into that, but essentially what we're doing, instead of bringing you guys on as employees, we're willing to literally just give you cash in that sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our commission and essentially cut that almost directly in half. So you're getting now, when we get into what it is for you guys, oh, on top of that, anything above 10 kilowatts. So these bigger houses, typically that's about a 2,500 to 3,000 square foot home, depending on how many people are in there. So it's really not these like mansions or anything. Like I went to a big house today, but he's the only guy living there, and his house is 15 kilowatts. So you will run into quite a few of these extra 10 kilowatts, but if you happen to refer somebody at 10 kilowatts, we're going to throw you just an additional $500 on top of what your kilowatt pay is. So getting into that a little bit more.
On top of that too, so if you get a referral and it sets and it actually goes through, from my company, from Clockwork Media, I will take care of your next 3 shoots that you have in terms of listings. So photos, video, Matterport, drone, all of that. I've worked with Randy and a couple other agents. Mark's been a customer of mine. So I will take care of 3 shoots for you if you set up a solar, if you set up a client with solar. So not only are we putting stacks of cash in your pocket,
incentivizing the homeowner with the best rate they possibly can get, 30 LED light bulbs and 2 Nest thermostats that run $250 a piece. And then he's also helping you guys out on that backside as well.
so they're getting the Nest thermostats for free. They're also getting 30 LED light bulbs, which also brings down their kilowatt usage in their home. So it makes their home more efficient if they didn't have that before.
Yep.
So you can see how it creates the value for the homeowner. Also, I'm taking care of you guys while putting cash in your pocket, as well as basically making it make sense for us.
Yep. Smarter, not harder. We're all in this together. So not going to beat you guys to death with solar. I wanted to get you some information on how it's going to benefit you, how it's going to benefit your buyers, and then just a little basic knowledge on solar and why solar. And then whoever's on board with this, we could set up a different time where we come back, we go to lunch, we take you guys out, we do what we want, and we spend a little bit more time on solar, because the only thing that you're going to be required to do is a few bullet points of information and then to gather just a few things, and that's literally it. So basically, why solar? It's a cheaper locked-in power bill that creates an end date. Essentially, you have 2 options to pay power. We've been programmed since we've ever moved into an apartment back in college that you're paying a power bill. You call, you get a bill every month, you pay it, that's it, right? Basically, that is your red line. About 4% inflation every year. We went up 6.8% last year. We're looking at 8.1% next year. Who here has solar? Does anybody?
I do.
Okay,
It's a 22 kilowatt system.
there you go.
Covers about half my bill.
Wow. They run a lot of
I
power.
have AC on my horses.
It's worse than having panels on the.
But who has power bills that are above $300?
Nobody has power bills over $300?
I
Close.
live in a condo, mine's like $95.
Wow.
Still a
Okay.
2-bedroom condo.
Efficient, all right.
Yeah, very. But essentially, that inflation, if you look at your power bill this year versus last year, it's more expensive. If it's 95, it was 85. It's going to go up. It's going to forever go up. The bigger a city gets, the more expensive power gets. We're not like Costco. So essentially, that's all it is we're going to take this bill that you see go up every single year. We're going to throw it away. We're going to give you a cheaper locked-in power bill that has an end date. We're going to incentivize you to do so. You're locked in. You never go up. It prevents against inflation. By the way, they increased the tax credit from 26 to 30% now. So you're going to get a 30% tax credit right back to you, $10, $12, $15,000, whatever it may be. Adds equity to the home on average about 4.1%. You can see down here the resale.
We got a question.
Yeah.
Shoot it out, shoot it out.
Go ahead.
Okay, real fast like that. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. But what happens is it sounds like we'll make a little bit of front work with y'all. But y'all cost us a lot of money on the back end. You started talking about how you guys are different. Explain that part, because there are a lot of deals that fell through because of solar not being a transfer. Can you hit us with that information real fast, please?
I didn't catch all that. Hit you with some information.
So basically, I know what you're saying. So basically, Raphael, correct me if I'm wrong. What you're saying is we've actually had deals in our brokerage where the deal's going through, we're about to get to closing, and then all of a sudden the transfer doesn't transfer, or the buyer can qualify to get the loan. They just can't qualify to get the loan of the solar to transfer. Kills the deal like 100%.
Perfect.
How are
Exactly.
you
So that's
guys
what we were
different?
talking about at the beginning there, is that's mostly leased homes, or sorry, leased solar systems. So you're not actually purchasing that solar system. I'm a victim of this. I'm an idiot. I trusted a friend a year and a half ago. I have a leased solar system on my home, and it will hold up the sale of my house. I stress about it every single sale that I do, because I talk about it, and then I get into why Sunrun and like all this stuff, and it drives me nuts because it literally stresses me out. But with a purchase system, essentially the credit score is lower on that than it is on the home, so they automatically qualify. They don't even have to qualify. We don't run credit. We don't do anything for them to qualify for the solar system because it's easily transferable and assumable with the home. So there's no qualification process. They're automatically approved, even on our solar, the minimum credit score. So your credit score to buy the house is going to be higher than that anyway. So if you bought the house, you automatically qualify and assume the loan. Like I said, it's a 2-page document, name, banking information, transfer the loan over. You start making that fixed payment now. And eventually, if you move in at year 20, you only have 5 years left on your power bill, and literally it ends. And you still have power for your home. So what you're speaking of is mostly lease products. We don't even do that as a company. We don't even have that as an option.
Yeah.
Because the only ones that do that are kind of your sneaky ones that are like, okay, you don't want to buy solar? Well, we have this option too.
Yeah.
And then they take that tax credit. You don't get any of it. They get incentivized. You don't get any of it. And your loan goes up every year. That's what
That's leased, yeah.
In relation to the lease, right?
Yeah. So you could purchase the system. Essentially, you're buying the power plant on your home to generate power for the home, whether you're in that home or not. Typically, 3 to 4 or 3 to 7 years is the average home buyer or the average homeowner before they move. So in reality, these solar systems are seeing 3, 4, maybe 5 homeowners, but all they're doing is they're moving along this blue line, the new homeowner. So eventually, when that person moves in, it doesn't start over. If that 4th homeowner moves in and there's 2 years left on that power bill, they literally pay a power bill for 2 years and then it's gone. So they're still under warranty for 30 years. This is where we can get a little bit more into the potatoes if you guys really are interested in this. But you can see down here on the bottom, like a 4 kilowatt system is going to increase your home value by about 20,000, whereas a 10 is going to increase about 60. So it does climb. I mean, the bigger systems with how much money and equity you're putting into that, because right now your homeowners are on a 100% interest loan forever. They're going to pay a power bill and they're never going to see $1 of it back. Whereas with this, we create that end date, adds equity to the home. You now have power on the home that generates power for the home itself instead of having to go from the grid, paying more and more every year.
How much is it on average, like monthly to purchase it?
Well, every system's different. Like if we went to a 2,000 square foot home, that may require 4 kilowatts or it may require 10, depending on who's in that home.
What about the 7 kilowatt?
On average, probably between like 40 to 60 for a total loan, and then you're taking that 30% tax credit back, and you can apply that to loan if you want, or pocket it. This is where we kind of get into the math of this is your forever home or not. What would make more sense for the homeowner? But yeah, that all depends usually on a sliding rate of what we charge too. So like for you guys, every one of you and your homeowners are going to be charged the lowest that we possibly can.
So Winning Realty, we got an exclusive rate with our company, a rate that we can't even really walk into a home and say, yeah, we can give you this rate. We actually have to get approval through our management in order to give you guys this rate. Because like with Randy, I've known Randy for a couple of years. I want to do right by you guys, and I also want to do right by him. So we set up this rate, and it's locked in and it's set for you guys. So it is
Yeah, so that's
exclusive
sliding
rate.
scale. I could get you that and say, hey, at $4 on a 7 kilowatt. This is
Pretty
what
much
it's.
what I'm asking is getting solar and paying the bill, well, you still pay an energy bill, it's just lower, right?
Yeah, it'd be $13 for a connection.
Okay,
And
so
then any
it'll
overages if
essentially
you
be
just started.
lower than what you're paying regular, okay.
And then that gap gets more and more every year because as power goes up, we're just going to continue to stay here.
So my question was, on a 7 kilowatt system, what would an agent make as the referring entity?
So maybe here, I got it at minimum 1,400. So we were saying 200 kilowatt, right?
That's all I care about.
So that'd be 1,400. Yeah.
1,400, okay.
Just straight.
Yeah, 1,400 cash.
And I kid you not, if you picked up that phone and talked to that box, hey, I got your name, information and stuff. I got a solar guy. You interested in hearing it? Great. You shoot it across. This could be literally a 2 to 3 minute conversation. You're hands off and you just put a $1,500 bonus on your paycheck.
Cool. And you got your next 3 listings taken care of for media content.
Would you recommend it though? Because you said something about, depending on if it's there forever home or not. You said if it's like, well, just plan on being in a home for like 3 years. Which is still-
One of my best friends, Mike, was with Ion. He quit to go start his own company. He put solar on his own, got his $16,000 tax credit check and sold his home. He kept that money and walked out. He made money off it. He was in the house for 2 months. The new homeowner moves in, they have now 23 years left, or sorry, 25 years on a brand new solar system left on their home. And the next, when they move in 5 years or 10 years, like the next person just picks up where it's at. At the end of the day, there's no question about it. The cost of power is way higher than the cost of solar. You have 2 options. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that solar is significantly cheaper than your kilowatt hour that you're paying to the power company. It'd be like me giving you and saying, hey, you drive 200 miles a month. Here's a gas card for 200 miles at $2 a gallon. But the minute you go above that 200 miles, you got to pay everyday gas prices. Would you still take it? You would, right? So because you know that the majority of your gas is covered. So that's exactly the same analogy when it comes to solar is I'm going to charge you this much for power. The power company is going to charge you this much. But based off of how many kilowatts your house needs, if you all of a sudden start using a little bit more power than what your system generates, that's why you'll start to pull from the grid. But if we're taking 99% at 9 cents a kilowatt, and then the other 1% at 30 cents a kilowatt, like you'll be happy with that, right? As a homeowner, you wouldn't want to spend 100% of your dollars at 30 cents a kilowatt. So that's really all it is. It's the bill swap program, locks in your power bill, fights against inflation, creates an end date, and incentivizes the heck out of you. The government is literally giving you 30% of money back to pay for your solar system. So this,
Only buying, you have buying option?
yes, we only buy. We don't even have a leasing option.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's either you finance a loan or you pay cash to buy the system outright.
But at that point, you're creating an expense. You're literally swiping a credit card. What I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, give me your $250 utility bill from NV Energy. I'm going to give you a $120 bill. And that's going to stay there. So next year when it's 270, 290, 300, you're still at 140, whatever number I used. Yep.
Are there any other companies that are not licensed systems?
Not that I know off the top of my head. I mean, I know a lot about other companies, but I don't know exactly what products they offer. Some really push batteries. I'm gonna wrap around that.
Because it takes a lot of the confusion out for people because of the leases. I mean, I can't do it justice when I tell them. I can't say it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, hey, you better look into that.
Yeah, I'd run from leases. Trust me, you don't want to be in my boat. We're gonna wrap it up real quick, but
That's why they call them sun run. You run from them.
my man, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. But real quick on solarreviews.com, I'll let you guys do the research on there. The #1 residential solar company is Sunrun. If you want to go on solarreviews.com and type that in, you can see what their reviews are versus ours. We are a premier solar company. Over 500 of our reviews are 5 stars. Like I said, the premium solar company, we use the best panels and the best inverters on the market right now. They're all American made out of Seattle and Washington. We don't import anything, which a lot of other companies do. #4 largest residential, A+ on the Better Business Bureau. You can check Google, solarreviews.com. This is why Ion, right? The installs, we do the cleanest installs in the Valley, meaning we run black on black panels instead of the checkerboard looking ones. The aesthetics are a big part for people. They don't want their house looking like crap, even if they know they need solar. We also run internal conduit, meaning there's no wires that run up over top of the roof that look like spaghetti everywhere. We actually go through the attic and crawl space, add a 10-year roof warranty to the home. It looks nice and clean, just like a cell phone sitting up there. Best in class warranties. Nothing out there where you buy, you are under a warranty outside of your payments, right? Usually your car warranty's up, you're still making payments. With us, completely different. Your bill ends at 25 years if that's the option you choose. You're under a production warranty for another 5 years on top of that, meaning that our system is guaranteed to produce that amount of power that we say it's going to, or we're going to replace your whole system at year 30. Like I said, American-made products. Our corporate office is in Salt Lake City. We have a local office here in Henderson. And like I said, with the aesthetically pleasing side to it, it just looks like the cleanest installs that are out there. Essentially, that's really it. This is the last little piece for you guys. Your role with this is collect interest. I don't mean money. I mean, just collect interest. What we're trying to do here is get this partnership going. What I don't want is, hey, here's a phone number. And I call that person, like, what are you talking about? And I have to set that appointment over the phone. Literally, you give a few bullet points of information. They say, hey, that sounds interesting. Okay, great. I already have your name, your address, your phone number, and your square footage. The only thing I need from you are 2 or 3 dates next week. And I'll have Patrick call you to confirm one of those days. You're hands off after that. Really, because I've done this before where I get phone numbers and it's like, I got to sell the appointment and then I'm giving commission to somebody who, in all honesty, really didn't do anything. So it's really just the conversation piece and then it's just gathering some dates. So really that's it. Here's our information, guys, our emails and cell phone numbers. Feel free to text us, call us, email us.
Screenshot.
Yeah,
Do you guys have
screenshot
any
it.
Are you gonna
questions?
leave some flyers or something here for?
I'm gonna bring some back. We have
Okay.
some in print right now.
Maybe some cards?
Yep, absolutely. All that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm trying to get this extra payment account.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then what we'll do is like whenever you gather some interest, it's 2, 3, 5, every one of you want to do this. we could set up another time where we come back by and bring you guys some lunch and we'll sit down for, 45 minutes to an hour or so, or go out or something. And actually talk a little bit more about solar so you're educated, so that when someone does ask you, or that when you start to pitch that, it just rolls off your tongue. Like, it's a cheaper locked-in power bill, adds equity to the home, blah, blah, blah. It's 5 little
That's
sentences.
what I need, just be like.
It's so
let
easy.
it flow right in.
I kid you not.
That.
We have teenagers going out knocking doors, making 6 figures doing this stuff. I kid you not. Yeah. But the money in it is, it's stupid.
And the government's pushing it, guys. It's becoming more and more prevalent out here in the valley. So again, people hear the word solar and they run.
It's because this happens 100 times a week and they get annoyed. They're just like, I'm over it. It's good for the government. I mean, it's good for us too. Go green. Why not?
We want to put money in your pocket. We want to try to help you guys out. So everybody wins at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends that just call me up, hey, my uncle's wants solar. Here's a cell phone number. And then here I am 2-3 weeks later giving this dude like $2,000 because he just gave me the referral. I'd much rather do that than knock on a door. Trust me.
It's hot out there.
Yeah.
I know anybody asked any questions?
Any questions really quick? Anything on Zoom? You guys have any questions? I know we're kind of running behind a little bit, but we're fine. Any questions on Zoom? Anything? Be loud. Not. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, we look forward
Sweet.
to hear from you guys.
And if you guys have shoots, let me know. If you guys need somebody to come through, I'm always ready.
How much do you charge for like a package?
Free 99. We got free 99 in the house. All right, so we are going to dive into really quick. We're going to dive into some Airbnb stuff. So real quick, and you guys can unmute yourselves. You can talk. We're totally vocal. Does anyone know what an Airbnb is? Does anyone not know what an Airbnb is? Okay. I'm going to throw a quick little curveball at you. Does anyone know what the word transient lodging is? It's down here on the right here. Does anyone know what that is? Huh? People moving around. That's a good one. Yeah. What would you guess? If I
Under 30 days?
Under 30 days. Okay. What would you say?
Yeah, I would say like limited.
A limited time frame. Okay. It's actually the definition of it is over 2 days. Okay. If they're staying more than 2 days, they're considering that to be the definition of transient lodging. They didn't put a max on it, which is interesting. So what we're doing here is we are talking about Airbnb. Who has stayed in an Airbnb? Like anywhere. Zoom people.
Every time I go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, every time you go to Puerto Rico, well, you're going to be staying with your Club Newport because Puerto Rico's got that. We got that covered.
Heck yeah.
Now.
Club Newport, baby.
Right. Get those drinks at the freaking swim up bar. We're so lazy. We have to swim to our drink. It's terrible. All right. So basically what we're diving into is all the crazy changes with the Airbnb rules. Okay. I'm just going to jump into a couple of them. Let's see if I can do a Vanna White here. Cool. All right. So the existing law requires the governing body of a county or city to adopt an ordinance defining the term transient lodging. All right. For the purposes of all taxes imposed by the governing body on the rental of transient lodging. Now, you have to really kind of put yourself into a little question stage here. And I had a white folder. Where did it go? It's a white.
Sorry.
Nope. Oh, there it is. Right here. Cool. I have a little cheat sheet. I got a cheat sheet here. What we did here is you kind of have to really put yourself into some questions here. The reason they're making all these crazy changes with Airbnb is because of money. All right. You have to think of who is gaining from the loss of money when it comes to Airbnbs. Who do you guys think who's losing? Spit it out. We got hotels, we got casinos. Yes, they are losing. Now you have to look at this state in general. This state makes their money from who? Casinos, hotels. Okay. The reason we do not have state tax in this state is because of them contributing huge amounts of money to be able to offset that. Okay, so now you have counteracting, they call it countervailing interest, because we have this no state tax. Who's going to pay for it if the Airbnbs are taking that money away from the casinos? The casinos are typing up and saying, hey, we don't feel like we should be paying this amount of money because you're now allowing all this. And now they're forcing the state to put on all these crazy rules to limit the Airbnbs. Okay. Some of the crazy rules that we have seen, well, before I get into that, I want to talk about this. They are governing so sections 13 and 25 of this new bill that was passed require the governing body of a county whose population is 700,000 or more, and city whose population is 25,000 or more, in a county whose population is 700,000 or more, to include residential units and rooms in residential units in the definition of transient lodging. So what are they really narrowing down up here? Okay, they're pinpointing a certain jurisdiction. Which counties in Nevada have over 700,000 people? Clark. Any others? I thought Washoe. It doesn't. No, Washoe only has 400,000. So do these rules apply to Washoe? Oh,
They coming straight after Vegas. You see that?
they're coming straight after Vegas. They're like that little mini Reno thing, Vegas, that they got going on up there. That doesn't count. So what they really tailored is they're going through and saying, okay, we really want to target Clark County because that's where our bread and butter is. Okay, and we want to target the little cities that are in Clark County. What are the main cities that are in Clark? Name them.
Winchester, Paradise, Enterprise.
No. Okay, so we're talking the major cities.
Oh.
You're talking Las Vegas,
Henderson.
And Clark.
you're talking Henderson.
Oh, okay.
You're talking North Las Vegas,
Boulder City, North Las Vegas.
and you're talking unincorporated is what they're talking about. So you got 4 majors, okay, that they're really pinpointing down. They don't care about Reno. They don't care about the surrounding areas. They don't care about Lake Tahoe, none of that stuff. They're targeting and really putting the foot down on us down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the next section here. Later, brother. Next section, section 9 of 22 of this new bill set forth that the requirements to obtain an authorization from the governing body of certain counties. So you got to have the county giving approval, okay? And then you got to have the actual cities will have the ability to make their own rules. You have to be in compliance with the actual county. Now you have to be in compliance with the actual city. So let's say, and then you have to also be in compliance with something else, the HOAs, which everyone loves here, okay? So right here, and cities which require a person to submit an application to the governing body. The governing body may hold a public hearing on the application. So now what's going on is they are now stating that, hey, I want to apply for my Airbnb. I meet all these qualifications of the county. I meet all the qualifications of the city, but the city has the ability to then do a public hearing and really just nix me at their whim. Okay, so let me give you a scenario. Let's say you bought a property that you wanted to Airbnb. Okay, and this is why as realtors, we have to be really careful what we're talking about and what we're saying. If you're going through and do everything right, you have determined that it's qualified by the county, it's qualified by the actual city, and then you tell them, yep, everything looks good, let's buy this property, it looks like it's going to be good for Airbnb. You never want to say that definitely, because of what? They can now come in and say, we're going to hold a public hearing to say no at our whim. Okay, so if you go through and you give them the guarantee that this is everything's approved and it doesn't get approved, guess what's happening to your license?
Let me just take that. Just gonna drop that off at the building.
You can get, yeah, you can drop. Make sure you leave my brokers before you get me that type of fine, though. Okay, if you do me a huge favor, if you can do that for me. But yeah, so you never guarantee a client. You never guarantee a client that they're going to be able to be Airbnb because you don't know. They could have pissed someone off at the public hearing. They could have just been blocked for whatever the reason. So this is now giving them the ability to block people. All right. So they just wrote that in, so everyone's kind of freaking out about that. Section 9 and 22 also establish various requirements for the holder of an authorization, okay, including requirements to pay an annual fee to the governing body for authorization, designate a local representative for the rental, and maintain liability coverage for the residential unit. The last one I think is a no-brainer. I think you're kind of crazy if you're not having proper coverage on an Airbnb, because they turn to, like, parties happen, people throw fire around. I don't know. So I don't know what parties you're going to, but basically you should always have coverage. The second one is kind of a weird one. You must have somebody, if you're doing an Airbnb in the state of Nevada, you must have somebody that is 24/7 ability to go to that property. Doesn't matter the hour of the night, doesn't matter the time frame. You need to have somebody that has the ability to get to that property to help those people should something arise. Okay, so now you're talking a cost factor if that person is not you. Okay, so you have to make a mental note of that. The other one is now they're charging, well, this is kind of a standard thing, they just kind of raised it, including the requirements to pay an annual fee. In your packets, if you go through, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. There is a breakdown called local fees. Those of you that don't have a packet, I'm going to try to hold it here. You should email Craig and get these. We kind of organize these like heavily. Okay. Clark County, there's a $150 inspection fee. There's a $750 annual fee for 3 or less rooms. Okay. What if your unit has 4+ rooms? Okay. Well, there's a $1,500 annual fee for 4+ rooms, and it can only be issued to a natural person. So all those people that were getting these licenses and they were doing it in an LLC, they're not grandfathered in. They now have to go through and reapply and get them as a natural person. It has to be in your name. You're not allowed to do this as a trust, an LLC, a living trust. It has to be a natural person. All right. Now let me throw you guys a curveball, because that's Clark County's. We also have Las Vegas has a $100 one-time application fee and $900 for an annual fee. We have North Las Vegas. They didn't do an application fee, which is kind of cool, but they do have a $900 annual fee. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm trying to zoom. I'm terrible at this camera shit. And Henderson has an $820 annual fee. Okay, so you need to make a mental note of that. Now, let me give you a curveball. Okay, let's say Jessica here bought a property. Okay, she bought a property. It's approved for Airbnb. She's got all the stamps. Everything's licensed. Everything's golden. You did it as a natural person. Okay, you didn't do it as an LLC, so you're within the guidelines. And you want to go through and you want to label that property for sale. Okay, thinking that people are going to like the fact that it's already an Airbnb. It's going to generate probably more money because it's showing as an income. Are you allowed to list that property as Airbnb transfers?
No, because the other person coming to have to qualify.
Exactly. They have to attend the hearing. They can be denied at the hearing. It goes through when you sell that property, that licensure of that property ends as soon as it's sold. Now, let me throw you a worse curveball than that. You would think, because we're going to get into the next thing, which is called distances. Okay, how far do these have to be apart? Right now, they're at 660 feet, I believe it is. Yep, right here. 660 feet. Okay, they must maintain a distance, and you guys can all see this from your distance sheet right here. So let's say Jessica owns a property and you own a property, okay, and they're both Airbnbs. They're within 660 feet, okay. Now yours would have to be 661 feet in order to be qualified. No other Airbnbs are allowed within that range. Okay, do you understand that? So if you're the one that gets approved for your Airbnb, everyone else within 660 feet is blocked out.
So how about like condos down on the strip? That's going to be a struggle. That's not going to be an Airbnb area.
That's the next thing they just fixed. All right. They just made it so that they cannot be 2,500 feet between any residential units offered for rent for the purpose of transient lodging of any hotel or resort or casino. So what do we have down on the strip? So yeah, so they can't be within 2,500 feet legally. That kind of eliminates the vast majority of the ones on the strip, right? That sounds
Well, just anywhere that there's.
Rental too?
Yeah, so they're going through and they just imposed this. The distance between lodging must be 2,500 feet between any residential units offered for rent for the purpose of transient lodging and any hotels as defined as NRS. If you go into this code right here, it's going to talk about hotels are also labeling themselves as casino hotels, even if they're just a casino, which is very rare. They usually have a hotel attached. They're going through and deeming themselves as hotel. So hotels, if you're within 2,500 feet, a big distance circle, okay? I want you to think of this. No Airbnbs are going to be permitted or grandfathered in. Now, if you went through and you told your client that, hey, buy this property, you'll be grandfathered in now, they are erasing that grandfathered in rule. So your property that may be an Airbnb now may not be an Airbnb later. So there's a lot of crazy changes. That any questions? Shoot some questions. Let's go.
I do have a question.
Go for it.
Okay,
With the,
so my question is,
Oh, we got Jessica first. Ladies first. Ladies first. What you got?
Yeah, so like with the condo hotels, like Palms Place and
Okay.
like what's the other one? MG. Now,
Trump.
with those, it has to be like a percentage,
Okay,
right? Like,
condo hotels are a little different
um,
because they have some type of weird like allowance rules. So they're a little different. They have their own set of guidelines. They're known as like a hotel. So the hotel is actually taking the possession of
They're
it.
basically taking all that on.
Yeah.
All the stuff that you.
So do you have to have a license with those then? or
I
can you
don't
rent
believe
it?
so. I think it's part of the documents that you're gonna sign in your closing.
It's part of your stiff HOA.
Yeah, and you're gonna have, and her question is condo hotels. I don't know if you guys heard that. We have a couple of them in town, Palms Place, we have Trump, what's some, MGM, yeah. So they have their own crazy documents. When you do a deal with them, it's going to state that you can't change the furniture. If you ever want to put it in the rental pool, you can't change the furniture. It must look like the hotel. It's like all this crazy stuff. And they have their own guidelines completely separate from Airbnb. So they're getting away from it as if they're the ones managing it. So it's the hotel managing those. Okay, and that's why you pay those stupid HOAs of those.
So it'll be worth, it's not worth it.
You really, if you really want to rent it out, I would say just do an Airbnb in a different state. I didn't say that out loud.
Here I come.
You heard me.
When did this law come into effect? Or
This
how?
was July and they're modifying it heavily. Okay.
So you have to start applying for the license now then?
So they're opening up the pool again. The first ring, it went like, there was a line out at the county clerk's office, like literally going out. People were standing out for like a day or two. It was nuts. The next ring is supposed to open up. Now, mind you, I want you to train your mind a little bit, okay? You got to really think now that BAM 660 feet, BAM 660 feet. There's a map that we can get you access to, and you can see, you could punch in an address and it'll tell you, nope, this one's blocked because of this 660, okay? What they're trying to do, and it hasn't passed yet, they're trying to make it 1,000 feet. So let me give you that scenario. Right now it's 660, okay? They're trying to make it 1,000. And the scary thing with that is if you have one that is literally on the verge, it may not be because of that extra 420 or 340 feet. You follow me? So
Do you know how to get the map for that?
yeah. I'll send you the map in the chat. I sent it the other day.
Please do.
Yeah, I sent it the other day, but that is something there. So authorization, you have to pay these annual fees. You also have to go through and note there is something called a transient tax. Okay, so write this down. Because I don't think this is in any of my sheets. So transient tax is 13%. Right now, it could change. Taxes change whenever they want to feel like charging you more. So 13% is what the transient tax is. So if you do an Airbnb, you have to account for that. 13% of your total take has to go back to the state, okay, or that county. Actually, doesn't go to the state, goes to the county. And here's where it gets weird. Okay, normally you do your taxes when? How many times a year? Once a year. Okay, transient tax accounting has to be done every month, monthly. Okay, so you have to go through and you have to really account. Okay, we did this many rentals, we brought in this much money. I owe the county this much money, or I owe my city jurisdiction this much money. Okay. North Las Vegas is 13, Henderson's 13. I did not get the blip on what it was in Las Vegas, but I'm pretty sure it's 13. Okay. Now here's where it gets kind of weird, and I want you guys to take down some of these weird notes that I wrote. They now have deemed that you have to have cameras inside the home of an Airbnb. Okay. Henderson took it a step further. Henderson is now deeming that they want cameras on the front of the Airbnb, facing the front of the road. Okay. So that's a little weird right off the bat. And if you flip to your Las Vegas Airbnb thing right here, okay, you're also going to read that the Las Vegas city made it so that you must have a owner occupied, meaning, you know how you do an Airbnb and there's never an owner there? You kind of have your own, you kind of have the whole space to yourself. Well, Las Vegas as a jurisdiction is making it so that the owner must be present. I thought that was kind of weird.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So
yeah, wait, what do you mean? It's
yeah,
only
right here.
homes that the
Right here, you
owner
can read
lives
it.
in.
You can read it right here. The city of Las Vegas limited short-term rentals to owner occupied properties, and hosts who are already licensed had a pending application. Okay, no, that's not it. But it's in this little form right here where they have to be owner occupied.
Yeah, no, that
So you
makes
can
sense.
have an
So like,
Airbnb.
if you own a home in Las Vegas, but you live in California, you can't Airbnb that.
Yeah, that was actually my question. It's funny, we think alike.
Yes, we do.
But my question was, what if I just want to rent and leave town? That was my question. Like, I want to rent, I open the door, I let them stay in, I was there for like 20 seconds, and then I'm deuces, right? There's actually written in the law that the ruling says that that is not allowed. The owner must be present.
Randy, question.
That's okay.
So you can't even have a management company managing it?
No, you have to have somebody there 24/7 regardless. Okay, just in the
So
area.
you need a management and you need to babysit.
Well, in this one, yeah, you have to be owner oct.
Crazy.
Yeah, or try not to get caught, but the fines are stupid. It's like $1,000 for the first time, $5,000 for the second, $10,000 for the third, and they just revoke the license completely after that.
So Randy, question, I have an Airbnb, I have a guest house in the back of my house.
Perfect.
So is that considered like I'm owner occupied?
Yeah.
I'm living in the
So
front house, the guest house. is
Exactly. So as long as you're staying on the property during the rental, you're fine.
Oh,
And
yeah,
mind you,
it's fine.
that applied to Las Vegas. That did not apply to North Las Vegas. North Las Vegas has their own set of crazy rules. Okay. Oh, right here. So Las Vegas was a minimum 2-night stay. Oh wait, no, this is North Las Vegas. A minimum 2-night stay unless it was owner occupied. Then they're allowed to do a 1-night stay minimum. So if it was owner occupied, you can actually do a 1-night stay. So that was kind of interesting. Now this is where it gets kind of weird. All right. Max people. Do you guys know the jurisdiction on how many people can do it in an Airbnb? I went to one like 2 weeks ago, and my friends rented it. It was here in Vegas, and there was like 40 fucking people there. So I know this was a violation, like 100%. But the max people now is 16 people. Now they break it down different ways per jurisdiction, but the state says 16 people, and then each jurisdiction breaks it down to their own limitation on how many people per room, what have you. Some North Las Vegas does it a little bit differently. North Las Vegas is very lax, actually. The other ones are kind of weird on if it has so many beds, it's allowed so many people. Okay, so you can look into that. I will give you all the information to find that stuff as well. But max people for the state is 16. All right. Restrictions on parking. They must be on present premises and not on the street. So there must be
no
enough
on-street
parking to be able to park on the premises. They cannot be on the side of the streets or on the streets at all. Bam. All right. And this
Is
is
anybody
the,
getting the feeling that they don't want us to do this?
Yeah.
Like they're like.
oh, no,
make sure
they're
that we
trying to
can,
make it so that this is impossible.
Wow.
It's like, and get this one. This is the best one. I thought this was cute. Okay. Noise ordinances. All right. You're supposed to be putting alarms in, there's some type of dB reading where if it goes over 65 decibels, it sets off an alarm, right? So that's kind of weird. So now there's going to be an alarm once grandma gets a little too rowdy on the craps table. I don't know about your grandma. My grandma's freaking crazy at the craps table. But long story short, 65 decibels. Once it goes over 65 decibels, it's supposed to set off an alarm and it's supposed to like let everyone know that they got to quiet down. Well, some Henderson is now requiring indoor ones too. Okay, not just outdoor ones. There's going to be indoor ones. Okay, and they are now denoting that the next addendum that they do to the law, those alarms have to be able to report back to the local ordinance. So instead of it just going off and then no one really knowing about it, the local ordinance is going to get like a little blip or something, some type of tip off that, hey, this alarm happened. Hey, this alarm happened.
They're going to be busy.
They're going to
be real busy.
I know.
No, they just made the whole city a HOA.
And it's gonna be $1,000 fine, $5,000,
$5,000 fine.
$10,000 fine.
Wow.
And then, yeah, so if you have people that are just too party rowdy, what have you, then this is gonna be setting off some kind of some noises here. I wrote down some miscellaneous stuff that I thought was kind of crazy too. Someone just asked a question about apartment buildings. Could you do a Airbnb inside of apartment building? They deliberately wrote that in. No apartment buildings are allowed. Okay. Taxes. Okay, I talked about that. They're filed monthly. This was cute. I thought this was a little whacked actually. Let's say you own an Airbnb in North Las Vegas. All right. And you deliberately you bought this property. It is not in an HOA.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Not in an HOA. And you bought this property. Okay. I wrote it down right here. Even if not in an HOA, but you are within 200 feet of an HOA, you have to get approval from that HOA to do an Airbnb on your property.
It's savage. Wow.
Okay. So you don't even live in that HOA and you're asking them, hey, could I throw a rager? What do you think they're gonna say? Good, fat chance.
How far, Randy?
200 feet.
How far?
That's North Las Vegas. That's 200 feet.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Okay. All right. So if you look, there's a whole bunch of crazy rules in this little folder. Oh, it actually went right to it. That's weird. Did I hit the button? Rules, annual fees, local representative. You have to have someone there 24/7. You got distances. Okay. You have a minimum rental period. If it's owner oct, it's 1 day minimum. If it's non-owner oct, it's either not allowed entirely in some jurisdictions, or it's minimum 2 nights. Okay. Large groups are prohibited, and there's a whole bunch of miscellaneous rules that are popping out of the woodwork, and they're modifying as they need. Go ahead and open discussion while I find something else that's weird as hell. Questions, preguntas?
So you said that in July was when
The major law.
The next one is.
Yeah, they're proposing extra stuff. They're modifying, it's a living and breathing document in a nutshell. They're modifying this document to make it so that, okay, this happened, so now we gotta put that in the law. This happened, we gotta put that in the law. And now these little mini jurisdictions, little mini cities like Las Vegas, the document that came out was like 50 pages. North Las Vegas, I think, was like 3 pages. Okay, and then they're just modifying it to make it more and more and more difficult.
You know, I'm excited because all of my Airbnbs are in Elko.
No, but like, since it's just.
I'm excited about this because all of my Airbnbs are in Elko, Ely, and Needles.
Yeah,
so I'm good.
No. So my mom is an Airbnb queen. Okay, she buys a shit ton of Airbnbs. She won't touch Vegas. She's like, Randy, I want to give you all these properties and get you deals and stuff, And we're talking like 200 to 300, like stupid. And she just won't touch Vegas. It's her investment group is like, they're out of their minds. So.
Randy, I have a question. I know they're opening the lottery again in September. Do they have a date for it?
No, they don't. And here's the scary thing. Max that they can possibly have in the valley is 25%. So once there's 25% done of these rentals and 25% done, then they're not going to open it up anymore. Yeah, if you want to apply and you feel like jumping through some hoops, some of them will be on fire, some of these hoops. But if you want to jump through hoops, do it. It's cool. The things that I didn't like is I like to buy something and have it enhanced by doing this as being an Airbnb, and then not being able to transfer it as an Airbnb is kind of sad.
Yeah.
It really is, because then that person has to go through and apply, and you already know, once we get down to the knuckle of it and there's not a lot allowed, as soon as one opens up, someone's going to be watching and saying, oh my gosh, now mine's available. Let me apply first. And the first person to apply on that sale is now going to go through and get that opportunity. Okay. As soon as somebody, let's say, let me give you this scenario. Let's say you're driving down the road, you own this house, and you know this Airbnb now has a for sale sign up. You are going to hound. As soon as that sale sells, you're probably going to set up a little notification on Zillow or Redfin or Realtor that you get a notification as soon as it's sold. And the day that it's sold, you're going to run down to that county courthouse to get yours approved. Okay? Kind of scary.
So because this is all new with the licensing, how, like, because you said July was the first time they opened up the licensing, right? For everybody.
Yes.
So, and you said there was only a certain amount of people that they allowed at that time.
Mhm.
So then how long are they giving people that have already been doing Airbnb? How long are they giving them to get these licenses?
I don't know that answer. I don't know that answer. No, I know that they gave us a whole bunch of crazy forms and documents to kind of
So it's
read
all
through.
just still
But
unraveling.
it's really, a lot of this is all like, look at this. It's all like legal mumbo jumbo. That if you can try to figure it out, you're kind of on your own in that regard.
So it's just all unraveling.
Yeah, it's kind of all unraveling and people are just trying to sort it out the best they can, really.
So,
They're
Randy,
really
I have a
just,
question for you.
go for it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So if I'm not making a mistake in my process of thinking here,
Go for
all
it.
those homes that are owned by those hedge funds can now not be Airbnbs, right?
So they have to go through and put them into a living person's name. They have to be a living person, and there is a limit on how many Airbnbs a certain person could own. I believe it was 5. Yeah, I believe it was 5. Yeah. So these hedge funds are now scrambling and being like, oh my gosh, I got to go through and find 500 people to put these licenses in. It's kind of sketch. It really is. There was another thing right here. When you go into a proper Airbnb, they have to have certain things on the wall. Okay. They have to have the number of the 24/7 contact. They have to have an evacuation map of all the exits and stuff like that as well. It has to be mounted on the wall or door in a horizontal position. Okay. Either made by durable material or encased with a durable frame or enclosure. Okay. Oh, and it has to have a star on it saying you are here. Okay. It's like, it sounds like a hotel, doesn't it? Like every hotel has that. Crazy. But I gave you all of these, the breakdown of the actual statutes per each city. So you can see all the rules and regs and stuff like this and the certain bills that came out. Okay. Any questions, any other questions you guys have? I know those first 2 vendors kind of took forever. Apologize for that.
It says 2,500 feet of a casino. Does that include like hobbies and stuff like that?
That would be a great question.
Yeah, because those are pretty much everywhere. And that
Yeah,
it's pretty much blanket everything.
it really does. Great question.
Yeah.
Other questions? Anyone else? Oh, someone wrote something. What else you guys got? Oh, we got a crazy face mode. Okay, yep, I agree with you, Lucy. 100%. What else you guys got? Any other questions? Anything you definitely want to know? If you did not get these packets, they can be emailed to you. One of them that we didn't print out here in office. So if you're in office and you have these packets, there's one that's like 50 pages from Henderson. We tried to save a tree and we didn't print that one. So you can get that one emailed directly from Craig. He just shoot him a message. He'll shoot you the
the packets here. There's so much stuff, so much regulation and just craziness that is going on. If you really want to be in the know, there you go. Cool.
I got a question.
Go for it.
I know there's people out there doing what they call not short-term Airbnbs, but like midterm where it's just month to month.
Okay,
Is
that's
that
different.
something that, is that the same thing?
No, no, if it's exceeding the 30 days, then that's a month to month. That's totally doable. Go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Oh, and Brady, remember when they said about the Airbnb, like say if they rent it out for a month,
Yep.
but then they only stay there for a week, they can't rent it out for that, the rest of that time.
It's like locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that for Airbnb or just regular?
that was Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has to lock it down. That's so crazy.
So Randy, I'm
That was one
in
of the other miscellaneous things I
the,
wrote
I'm in
down.
the unincorporated area of Las Vegas,
Fun.
so I can't rent it for less than 31 days. So do I still have to get a license?
See, that's what you have to do. You really have to get with your local guidance
Uh-huh.
and really find out what type of things are going to like limit you.
Because before they told me I didn't, because I actually had a neighbor that tried to point out the finger on me,
Yeah.
and then I.
Don't you love that?
I know.
There's
I'm
this
the
website
opposite.
called You Fix It Now.
And you know what?
They
his
can just
whole-
rat you
know
out.
what his whole deal was?
Yeah.
Is that, number one, he came, I've owned this home for over 20 years, and number one, he came like 4 years ago. And then he was trying to complain that we have parties all the time, which we don't.
Oh, stop.
And then
Yes,
he
you
also,
do.
what his issue was that we, not just myself, but my guests or my friends are directly across the street from him, and he lived at the end of the cul-de-sac. He didn't want nobody parking there. So he would purposely put his car there.
Yep.
So nobody would park there. But it's
Right
like,
from
we
his
weren't even
house.
parking in front of his house, but he doesn't own the street. And Clark County very clearly told me, as long as there's license plates on the car, anybody could park on the street. But Clark County just told me, okay, make these adjustments, like it has to be 31 days or more, but they told me I didn't have to get a license.
I would
But
definitely
this
look
was
into it
back
because
like-
these rules are
Oh,
changing and it's
31,
a
I don't
living
think it's
document.
considered Airbnb, because short-term rental was 30 days or less.
So my question was, is that we talked about this in the class we went to, what about these people that are renting out like lots? Like, let's say they have like a 2-acre spot of land and they want to rent out like a spot for their for like a food truck or something to be able to park, because there's these companies that will rent out lots. There's also companies that will rent out just your pool, where you can come in and just use the pool. Eventually, they feel like these Airbnb rules are going to encompass those as well. They want the what? They want the money. They want the taxes. Okay. So they're finding a way to incorporate it and then really limit it. So they want it so that they're getting the money, but there's really no possible violation that could ever come by that would infringe on the neighbors. So you also have, and the thing we didn't talk about, the elephant in the room, is you have the city level, you have the state level, then you have these individual city levels, and then you have the HOAs. Okay, so you never want to tell someone that, hey, this property, it looks like it's great from those two levels, but then the HOA has final say. They can literally say whatever they want and block you. So you have to make a mental note of that as well. A lot of them are even writing it pretty deep into their rules. No short-term rentals. No short-term rentals. So any other questions? Anything you definitely want to know? There's a lot. There's a lot. Alrighty, guys. That's my class. Thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, Randy, this
Definitely.
was great, man. Thank you, man.
And I think
Thank
this was
you.
recorded too.
Thank
So
you.
we're gonna get
That
you
was
guys
awesome.
this recording as well.
Yes, definitely get this one up. This is great.
Thank you, Randy.
Alrighty, y'all.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.